Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about React hooks, what they are, how to use them, and just the basics of useState to begin with. So here we have an application that is a simple counter. You can say plus and minus, and you can increment and decrement the amount. Now already there are some bugs in this application that they're very slight and hard to tell unless you've used React before. So with a class component, when you have events added on to any sort of event handler, what happens is you need to bind them first. So if I hit plus or minus here, we're going to end up in a situation where this is not in the correct scoping, so set state becomes undefined. So to fix this, you can either do this dot add is equal to this dot add dot bind this, which is a bit wordy. So now this should work. The other way of doing this is with class properties in the new ES6 version or ES7 version. You should be able to do this as well. So this works exactly the same way. This is a class property. It adds this arrow function onto the class property of add. Same thing as doing it. It's just more sugar, but it's just like if you were doing it in the constructor. Same with if you wanted to move this .state out, you could just say state here, and everything should work just fine. Let's go ahead and modify this one right here just to make sure that we're on the same path here. So now we should be able to do subtract and plus. So everything works. Everything is as it was before. But those subtle bugs that we just ran into kind of disappear when you refactor to hooks. So let's go ahead and go through the process of refactoring this class component into a functional component that has state. So to start with, we don't need class anymore. We don't need component anymore. We can just say function app. And then for that, we can just swap this component out to useState, because that's the import we're going to need. We don't have methods in here like this, so it's just a return statement. These are actually just going to be some functions inside of the function. And so now we're running into failed to compile because state is no longer a thing. So let's go ahead and modify this into using a hook. So with the hook, with the useState hook, it has two return values, which usually get separated out, destructured into an array form. So it returns two values. The first value is the actual state. In this context, we're going to call it count. And then the other one is a way of updating that state. So we can say set count. So this is going to take the initial argument of like what the default value of state is going to be. So we're going to say 0 here. And so now we need to use this set count in the place for this dot set state. So this should be easy. We should just be able to paste that there and paste that there. And then instead of doing this arrow function inside where we're saying what count is, we can just basically copy and paste this over and here, and then we're going to do minus. So that should work just fine. The other thing that we need to do is we need to remove this context in here because that's no longer necessary. So that's not needed, as well as count is just count now. So if I did that correctly, everything should just work as it's supposed to, and it does. So that is how you would refactor a class component that holds state using this into a functional component that holds state, just using useState.